What's up guys, welcome back to Fancy Goldfish Fanatics. Today we are looking at an absolutely mind-blowing 2,400 litre planted fancy goldfish tank. So make sure you stay tuned to find out more. Hey Fanatics family, welcome back. As always, check out those links in the description. Make sure to check out Jimmy Goldfish USA for all of your goldfish needs. Discount code is down below, and also check out Star Fisheries if you're from the UK. So today we are looking at an absolutely amazing video which was actually produced by Oliver Knott. I'm going to leave the link for the main video down in the description below if you want to check that out as well. But I thought this was an absolutely mind-blowing fancy goldfish tank, so I really wanted to get it on the channel and do a little bit of narration over the top as part of our tank tour series. Now this is going to be more of a reacts kind of video and me just really watching the video with you guys as well. So I thought, why not get it on the channel? All credit due to Oliver Knott for producing this absolutely amazing video. I'm going to get it on the screen now. We're going to do this kind of reacts video as part of our tank tour series. And if you guys enjoy this video, please let me know down in that comment section below, and I can get you lots more videos just like this one today. So without further ado, let's get that video on the screen and let's see what my reaction is to it. So as I mentioned, this is the new React style. I thought I would include myself in the video rather than just being a voice in the background. And here you can see the absolutely amazing video that Oliver Knott has put together. As I mentioned, I will put a link to that video down below. As you can see, this tank has actually been set up at a trade show. Looks like we've got some AI Hydra 52 HDs over the top of it, which is providing the ambient light for the main display. Absolutely loving the riparian vegetation, the use of that bogwood as well, the gravel or sand substrate, and all of those river stones and sort of river cobbles. I'm absolutely in love with this tank. Beautiful, beautiful tank, just even without anything in it. The rimless tank is absolutely lovely, and I'm a real big fan of those rimless tanks. Nice, clean, modern and simple. Really like those. And there's quite a few fancy goldfish keepers that have those rimless tanks. A lot of them are water box or Red Sea aquariums, and they just absolutely have a real elegance about them. Now, I haven't actually watched this video with any audio at all because I didn't want to be basically narrating or repeating what Oliver says in the video himself. So I really wanted to have this straight as my reacts video, as if I haven't seen it first or haven't seen it before and haven't listened to it as well. As you can see, the amount of time and effort that's really gone into the scape is awesome. And for those of you who saying you can't keep plants with fancy goldfish, well, here is a really good example that you can. Now, although this tank has probably only been set up for a few days and is only likely going to be set up for around a week, it provides a really nice backdrop to the fish, and really the fish aren't the feature here. In a lot of our tanks we have bare systems, like as you can see the tank behind me, the fish aren't really the feature. The corals, the aquascape, everything is the feature, and the goldfish aren't the main feature in that tank, unlike most tanks you see. Now, I believe this tank is 2.4 meters by 2.4 meters by about 60 centimeters tall. And even if you didn't have goldfish in this tank, it would look absolutely stunning with maybe some angels or discus even. But I really feel that those goldfish bring out the nice orange vibes, the nice real color tones, and they really are set off against the aquascape. Now we're getting a little bit of a closer shot at some of the fish. Looks like we've got some different Anubias, maybe some Cryptocorini, some Vallisneria, and looks like we got some Marimo moss balls. Now the Marimo moss balls are really nice to have as decor on the base of your tank. A lot of tanks, if you do want to have a bare system but you want to include a little bit of greenery, a little bit of foliage, I really like the Marimo moss balls because they're really easy to move around. You can gravel hoover or sift through the sand when you're cleaning the tank nice and easily, moving them out of the way. So I really do like those in use with maybe a slightly barer tank tank, but here they just add another dimension to the aquascape. So it looks like we've got, I think, around 6 to 8 fancies in this tank, so not too many. We can see that they aren't the main focus, as I mentioned. We've got this lovely emerged area of vegetation. I'm not quite sure on the plants, but it looks like we've got some mosses, some ferns, and some different aquatic and semi-aquatic vegetation. I also noticed a little power head down there. Now, because this is such a large aquarium, and although the goldfish do not require much, if any, float at all, having power heads in a large tank really helps to get rid of any detritus, any debris that builds up on the bottom. If you aren't doing a regular gravel clean or a regular hoover of the substrate, it is good to have a good level of flow around the tank. But back onto the plants, we've got some lovely pennywort potentially, some water lily, some water lettuce, and if you created a similar riparian zone in your aquarium, added a few different mosses and some emerged and submerged plants, then they would attach onto the wood and it would slowly create that naturalistic look. I think tanks like this take a long time. Similar to the coral marine tanks, I feel that they take quite a long time to fully establish and really get that bit of slice of nature in your home. I'm really liking the use of different fancies as well. Although we have purely orandas, we have an Apache, we have a red and white. Also, I believe there is a Sakura or a Calico as well. And it's really nice to see the different range of fancies. Although they aren't the main focus of this aquarium, I really like that they have put fancies in this tank. So you can see what different tanks that you can keep your fancy goldfish in. And they don't just have to be in that bare tank or a tank with a few stones. Although this wouldn't provide the optimal growing environment for a fancy, the plants would provide a really good way at removing phosphates, nitrates. They will even deal with a bit of ammonia and nitrite to really help purify that water. Now, although if you're going to be feeding your fancies heavily and you really want to bring them on, a planted tank, I would say, is not the best environment to keep them in, as it's really hard to keep clean and there will be a lot of build up, lots of debris and detritus build up in and amongst the plants. And although they will help break down this waste, there will be a lot of physical waste that gets trapped in the roots and the leaf network. So that is something definitely to consider when you are thinking about doing a planted tank potentially. What I would do if this was my tank and I wanted to do that fancy goldfish planted tank, potentially I would look at building some large pieces of bogwood and attaching different plants like Vallisneria potentially, but more likely Anubias, Java fern, Microsorum, things like that onto the wood. You can use some dark black cotton, for example, and then eventually the cotton will rot away and leave the plant's root systems attached onto the bogwood. So then when you're doing a tank clean, you can move that bogwood out the way or even out of the tank, make sure those plants are kept nice and damp, and then you can go away hoovering your substrate. But back onto the main tank, I'm just absolutely amazed at how they've created this beautiful slice of nature. Although it's not a biotope, it looks like a river system you'd see in a tropical country, and generally tanks like this you would always see those naturalistic fish like the angels or some cardinal tetras, rummy nose, waru, discus, etc. in tanks like these, especially at a trade show or at an event. And I really like the fact that they're sort of bringing the fancy goldfish in. I think the fancy goldfish hobby is definitely growing because obviously we are in the sort of energy crisis. The energy and electricity and gas has gone through the roof, so people are keeping more of these fancy goldfish aquariums where the temperatures don't need to be as high as tropical fish, for example. And that was one of the reasons that I did opt for the marine tank. The marine tank actually sits at 23.5 degrees in comparison to my tropical tank that was at 26.5 degrees. Now, although that's not a big temperature difference, it does make quite a difference in heating a large tank, especially when your room temperature is below the tank's temperature. And tanks like this one here, they can be kept at even 24 degrees, even less. The plants should be absolutely fine, although these are sort of a tropical species. Keeping them around 23, 24 should be absolutely fine. And then obviously if you are going just fancies, dependent on the source of your fancies or where you get them from, what dealer, etc., or what breeder. You can keep them at many different temperatures. The hardier ones can go down really to 5-6 degrees, which isn't going to happen in the home environment, but you can keep them down to 15-16 degrees quite happily on the most part. So we're just finishing up, having a look at this absolutely amazing tank that Oliver Knott has filmed for us, and I'm really glad that he has put this great video together. I saw it on YouTube and I thought I must do a sort of reacts video to it. And if you enjoyed this video or you want to see more of these sort of reacts narration type videos, then let me know in that comment section and I can do more of this series and try to make the channel maybe more of the tank tours, maybe more of the reacts series. And that brings us to the end of the video. So I hope you enjoyed that video. It's slightly different to the normal videos we produce, but hopefully if you enjoyed it, you can leave a little comment down below and let me know. And I'm going to try and do more of these tank tours, react style videos, and also more of the Rate My Tank series, because you guys seem to really enjoy those. If you've got any ideas for future videos, also let me know down below. If you want to have your tank featured on the channel in any of our series that we do, you can also leave a comment or you can email me at fancygoldfishfanatics@gmail.com. As always, thank you all for watching. Remember to keep those water changes up and happy fish keeping.